Good afternoon everyone, it's Behzad here from Hey World Coder. Welcome back for another video of how to create a simple login app using Android Studio in Java language. As you remember from our previous video, we left our method on sending user data to database. In today's video, we are going to create a constructor and we are going to send verification email to user and transfer the user from our register page to login page and check their credential. And we created a bridge between our app and our Firebase database. We are going to create a constructor. Go to your profile on your left hand side. On your app, come to Java, the top one, the top folder, one click. Now you're going to right click, come to new, and we need to creating a class. We do not creating an activity, we need a class as a constructor. Click on it, and here we have to put a name on. Just put it as a constructor. Make sure you're writing down with a capital letter and click OK. The class is ready here, and we have to assign some variables here. So where and what type of variables we are going to get. As you've seen in our video, on my demonstration videos, we got some information such as full name, email, and password, and gender. But whatever information you're going to get from your user based on your project, you transfer them to the constructor and set value to those variables. For instance, in this app, we need the full names of the user, we need their email, and we're not going to store their password for security purposes, and just gender. So that means we need just 3 variables. We come down here in your field area, just write down public. The reason is public because we need to get an access to all of these variables we are going to create right now. So what type of data we need is a string, and how you are going to name it, just put down full name. So one thing you have to remember is make sure you're writing down your variables in your constructor class in a lower letters. For some reason I've tried once to put them down as a capital, but it didn't work. So just make sure you write your variables in a constructor class in a lower case. You're coming down, another public, string, what else we need, an email, semicolon, one more time, public, string, gender. So I'll repeat one more time. Based on your project, whatever information you are going to get from your user, you write it down in a constructor to set value to those variables. In this app or this project, we need just a full name, email, and gender from our user. Coming down here, make sure you have to first we need a constructor to assign those variables to it. How we are going to create it is just make sure you put the num lock on your keypad off. Hold on Alt and 0, and you have a seeing this video like this. The top one it says a constructor. Click on it. So here just select none. If you select none, we are creating a constructor inside this class. Why do we need it? I will explain to you later on. Just create one similar to here. You're coming down. One more time, Alt 0. We need another constructor. And this another constructor, we need to give parameters to it. So why do we need the parameters? Just let's create it first. Just click on it, Control, hold on down, and select those 3. Click OK. What is this constructor? What is this constructor is doing? If we're going back to our register page, we set our variables here as a private. What does that mean? That means we never have an access to these variables. The best way to doing it, we have to creating a constructor, and we are going to assign this value here, these parameters, to those value in our register page. If I'm going to break it more down, is we assigning this value, we getting the value or information from the user based on whatever they enter, and we assign them here to restore them on our database. I will show you in a second how it works, but for now just repeat what I'm doing and how I'm going to create it. And once everything's worked out, you will see how everything working. Once everything worked, then you understand how is this constructor helping us to restore information from our user. You're coming down here from the second one. Again, you Alt 0. So we need a getter and setter. What is a getter and setter is going to do? It is going to get a value from our user, and whenever we need to return the value from our database, the getter and setter is going to help us. Create it now. We're not going to use it for now. In the later videos, we are going to use it, but I prefer to create it right now to avoid any hassle. Again, push down Control, select those three, click OK. We're pretty much done with our constructor. Close it down. Come into register page, scroll down. I am in our send user data to database method. Below our database reference or our bridge, coming down, we need to create an object from our constructor. Just write down a constructor with a capital C. This constructor is the class which we created right now. Give a name to it, just constructor with a lower c equals to new constructor. What we've done here, we created an object of this class. And here, as you see, you may have facing some error, but if you do not, what we need to get here, we need to give 3 parameters. How do we know how many parameters do we have here? Just go back to your constructor. See here? We gave 3 parameters as a string. So what does that mean? Is this object, we need to give 3 string parameters to it. So where is our string parameters? They are here. We skipped our password. And make sure you write them down in order. The reason is whatever you put in down here as a value, as a parameter, it will assign here. So for instance, if you write down email first, then your full name and email will be replaced. It's coming down here. I'm going to show you a wrong way to do it, then we will come back and fix it. Just write down email. Sorry, as email, as gender, as password. So there are strings. Remember, I'll write them that they're not in order, so technically that should store the data in a wrong section in our database. It's coming down here. So now we need to set this constructor or this object to a value. So what we are going to do using our user database reference object, that we need to set a value. And where is the values come from? From the object we created in our constructor. Here, this is the value and we assign it to this bridge. Constructor, minimize, semicolon. So this method is ready. We all done here. We come back later on in a video to just explain everything, how everything is working. Minimize it here. Coming back to our send verification email. Check everything's fine. Yes, everything is okay. Reg button. Now run our app. Our app is ready. We just open up our logcat to check if to see all of those debuggers we created, they are working or not. Just come in and click here. We'll transfer you to register page. Just giving a full name. I'll put my name down. The email address here, because we checked it as a valid email, you must give a valid email address. I will recommend you to use your own email address to check if the app is working. Gender as a male and click register. So now here the app is checking to all the information, you put it down, and then it will communicate with your database. And once it's everything ready, it will transfer the user from here. As you see, the stocks of a register, and we are in our register page. So now you should receive an email address with a from the Firebase to confirm your email address. So in next video, we are going to check if the user already verified their email address or not. If they did, we'll transfer them to the welcome page. If they haven't, then we show them an error to let them know that the user hasn't verified their email. So now app works fine. We're going back to our database reference. And here you see the authentication is free. Just refresh your page. And as you see, the app is ready. We're going to our database to check everything's been stored on our database or no. The folder is created as a user. Expand it, user details, expand it. And here, this is the unique ID. And here is the email. So do you remember I told you if we put the information wrong in our app, this is what it comes up and this is what happens. So that's why you have to make sure you put them in order to how it works. Now we are going to recap what we've done. Go back to your app. Now here we're checking our debugger. We check into send user database. This is the last method it runs. Just copy the message and paste it down here in this window. And as you see, that means this method ran. It's no problem. Technically, all of the method we made it, they had to run because our app is working. So, but I'm going to show you how everything's fine. So this is the method, expand or minimize it. Go to your send verification email, copy the message, and paste it here in this window. And here, this method has been run. So perfect. So if we go into our Firebase, going back to the database, I want to just tell you what happened. This user is our main folder. Then we got a user details, so that is a subfolder on your user. User detail, a subfolder under the user. And then here we got a Firebase auth, the current user, and get UID. So this is the UID for this user. And where is this UID came from? If you go into authentication, you will see the user ID here. This is how it's been stored. Going back to our database. As you see, the unique ID has been used, the email has been wrong, and here they are wrong. They set up to our wrong values. So how we are going to fix it? Go back to your login page, delete here. So we need a full name, email, and gender. So now if you run your app one more time, it will crash. The reason is because this user with this unique ID has already been made and it has value in it. So what you are going to do, just delete here. Go to your authentication. These three dots here, click, delete account, delete account. Go back to your app, stop your app and run it one more time. Then everything will be set up and ready. We are going to check it if these values here we're creating it are storing the right information to our database, and then we're pretty much done for this video. For now, we're going to check our app again one more time. Just click here, register page. Just put your name down. We change the gender to unspecified for now to make sure everything is working. Then click on register. It takes sometimes here to transfer the data. Successfully registered, the toast message works, and we are on our login page again. So that means everything's working perfectly. Go back to your database. Check the section. The user has already been created with a new unique ID. Expand it, and an email, full name, and gender. All works fine. That's all for now. If you have any question or you missed any part, please write down in a comment or email me and I'll respond them as quick as I can. Other than that, thanks for your watching and I will see you all in next video.